I created the perfect NFL player, perhaps the greatest physical specimen to ever walk the face of the earth. With 99 overall ratings in every single attribute, he's capable of playing any and every NFL position. Today, we're going to follow his career and hope that he can complete several challenges that I have put in place for him. His career will not be an ordinary one, though, as after the completion of each season, a magical wheel of truth will decide not only what position he will play next season, but also which of the 32 NFL teams he will be playing on. If that's not enough, he has to complete these 10 challenges along the way, and if we can complete all 10, I have to name a player on my Cupcake Relocation franchise team after a random subscriber in the comments. Just make sure to leave a comment if you want to have a chance of getting picked. And of course, I went with the Kansas City Chiefs as Joe Somebody's first team that he is going to play with. I did that for a reason too, because we are going to attempt to get 5,000 passing yards with Joe Somebody. We're going to have to get 5,000 passing yards at some point in this video, because that's just one of 10 challenges that Joe here is going to have to complete throughout his NFL career. He must win at least 2 Super Bowls at some point in his NFL journey. He must win league MVP at least twice. He must be selected to at least 5 Pro Bowls throughout his NFL career. He must have over 5,000 plus passing yards in a single season. He has to have over 12,000 yards receiving in a single season. He must have 1,300 plus rushing yards in a single season. He has to have over 120 tackles in a single season as a defender. He must have 20 plus sacks in a season as a defender. He has to have 5 plus interceptions in a single season, and he has to set at least one single season record, regardless of the position that he's playing. With each additional Super Bowl or MVP that I win, that will allow me to count that as another completed challenge. And you know what? Joe Somebody's cool and all, but I think we can do a little bit better. So we are going to give him a better name than that, randomly generated from this name generator here. And I think we can do a little bit better than Joe Somebody. So we have, oh my God, man, Chad Quackenbush. Okay, you know what? Gootsy Noseworthy, Bad News Peterson. I think that Chad Quackenbush is the perfect name for this NFL god. Welcome to the NFL, Chad Quackenbush, rocking the number 99 jersey because, of course, he is 99 rated in every single attribute. So what I think we'll do first is we'll go ahead and sim to the mid-season mark here. Remember, Chad has to amass 5,000 passing yards, if not this season, at some point, and I just want to kind of gauge how Mr. Quackenbush is doing in his first NFL season. Is he going to be on pace to get 5,000? Is he going to be getting some league MVP votes? Is his team on pace to win a Super Bowl? Let's see what's going on here at the midseason. Well, we are 4-3, and we're getting ousted by Russell Wilson and the Denver Broncos, so that's not a good start. And what's going on with Chad, man? He's only at 1,750 passing yards and 11 touchdowns. There's like 20 different quarterbacks ahead of him. I don't understand. This dude's a 99 rated. He should have 3,000 passing yards by now. Maybe it's this stinky receiving core that we got. I kind of forgot that the Chiefs no longer had Tyreek Hill, so maybe they weren't the best team to start with. That's okay though, because look, if we can just make it to the Super Bowl and get one of those checked off the checklist, I would be happy with that, or maybe even make a Pro Bowl. And who knows, maybe Chad will have a better second half of the season and get closer to that illustrious 5,000 passing yard mark. Well, at least we did make the playoffs as a wild card at 11-6, so that is good to see. Now, how in the frick were the Denver Broncos the best team in the NFL? Really? And what kind of alternate universe are we living in where Baker Mayfield throws for 5,400 passing yards and 41 touchdowns? Well, it looks like Chad Quackenbush did not get to 5,000 yards passing this season, so that's a little unfortunate. Probably not going to win league MVP either, as we have people like Baker Mayfield setting NFL records out here. So it looks like our only shot to maybe get something checked off the checklist is to either win a Super Bowl, or maybe Chad can sneak in and get some Pro Bowl voting. I would actually be totally fine if we could just get to the Super Bowl here in this first season. That's probably going to be one of the hardest challenges, and we did not, because we got first rounded by the Buffalo freaking Bills. You're a 99 rated overall player, Chad. How are you not leading this team to the promised land? Well, at least Andy Reid got his contract extended, so yay for him. Well, boys, looks like we're not gonna get a Pro Bowl voting either, as CJ Stroud, Joshua, and Lamar get the 3 votes for quarterback. And just to add insult to injury, our division rival Denver Broncos made the Super Bowl, so that is extremely unfortunate.
Broncos country, let's ride.
And Chad didn't even finish top 10 in the MVP votings. Oh, and look, Patrick Mahomes, who we cut from the Chiefs roster, plays on the Green Bay Packers, and he made a Super Bowl. What is going on? This is a terrible start to the episode. At least our division rivals got creamed by my favorite team in the NFL, so I guess that's some sort of silver lining. Okay, so 0 challenges crossed off the old checklist in season 1, but that's okay because Chad Quackenbush is still young, and he is probably going to change positions now and also change teams. So let's head on over to the magical wheel of fate and see where Chad ends up and what position he'll be playing. All right, let's see what we got here. I wouldn't be mad at sticking at quarterback, and we're not going to be quarterback. We're going to be cornerback. So switching from offense to defense. Let's see where Chad Quackenbush, the cornerback's new home will be. His new home will be on the Houston Texans. Well, I don't really like our shot at making a Super Bowl. That much is for sure. Welcome to the Houston Texans, Chad. Hopefully your time here will be well spent, my friend. Hey, if anything, the Houston Texans do have CJ Stroud, who was a Pro Bowler last season, so I guess we got that going for us. And Chad is easily the best defender in this defensive lineup, so he is gonna have to carry the load, no doubt. So again, we're just going to sim to the mid-season mark here, kind of get a feel for how Mr. Quackenbush is doing. Remember, as a cornerback, his main goal is to A, make a Pro Bowl, a Super Bowl. He won't win MVP as a cornerback, but he could potentially get 5+ interceptions. I highly doubt he's going to get 120+ tackles, but you never know. And no corner in the history of the NFL has ever gotten 20+ sacks. So really shooting for that 5 interception mark, a Pro Bowl, or maybe a Super Bowl appearance. Hey, if anything, we are atop the AFC South, so that gives us a path to the playoffs at least. But our defense is 28th in the league, so I'm not liking Mr. Quackenbush's chances of having a lot of picks. I mean, he has 1, so I guess that's good, but he's gonna have to get 4 more interceptions in the second half of the season to even come close to getting that 5 interception mark. Okay, with the click of a button, we're gonna sim to the playoffs, just praying for good things. I don't think that we're gonna achieve any defensive goals this season, so getting into the playoffs is our best shot of making the Super Bowl and checking something off of this checklist with Chad freaking Quackenbush. Hey, and look at that, we led the AFC South with an 11-6 record. How about that? And we are going to play the Denver Broncos in the wild card game here. Okay, didn't expect that, but I'm definitely not mad at it. Oh, but our defensive unit is near the bottom of the league in the rankings. So, okay, I guess we're gonna need to force some turnovers here. Well, here's the moment of truth. We gotta see if old Chatty boy here got any honors. Okay, CJ Stroud goes over 5,000 passing yards. Too bad that we're not the quarterback right now. But let's look at the defensive standings, and Chad did not get 5 interceptions, but he did get 3, and he also had 108 tackles, 0 sacks, so not even close to the 20, but he's a cornerback. What do you expect? But the question is, was this good enough for a Pro Bowl vote? It was, and it actually says he has 2 Pro Bowl appearances. I'm quite certain that he didn't get one in the first season. Maybe he did, and I don't know, but you know what? I'm not questioning it. Chad Quackenbush has 2 Pro Bowl appearances now on his resume, so there you go. So we'll go ahead and check something off of the list at least. You know what? I'm okay with that. It's progress, not perfection, and we still have a long time to go in this man's illustrious, hopefully, NFL career. Getting down to business though, getting down to brass taxes, we are gonna sim to the Super Bowl. Is there any shot in the heavens above that the Houston Texans can actually make a Super Bowl? I don't really think this team is that good, but we do not. It is going to be the Bills and the Cowboys. Looks like we did make it past the Broncos in the wild card round, but then we got extremely blown out by the 4th seed Las Vegas Raiders in the divisional. No MVP votes, of course, as Joshua is going to take that honor. We do not typically see cornerbacks or defenders in the MVP voting. Good for Lovie Smith as he gets some Coach of the Year honors, but that doesn't help our challenges at all. Here's the big question though, what position is Chad going to play in season number 3? It looks like he is going to be a halfback. Okay, so this is very good. I feel confident that we should be able to scratch some of these challenges off of the checklist next season. What team is he going to go to? That's the question. Is he going to go to a team that already has a great halfback, or is he going to go to a team, well, he's going to go to a team that probably still has Christian McCaffrey. So that is going to give us something to think about. Let's not even worry about Christian McCaffrey. Let's just make it an even swap and send McCaffrey to the Texans so we don't have to worry about anybody taking the snaps of Mr. Quackenbush. Welcome to the 49ers, Chad, although we cannot use his 99 number because apparently somebody else on this team already has it. Thanks a lot, Javon. So on offense, we are going to be in the backfield with superstar development Brock Purdy? What? This offense actually looks really good. They got superstar development Deebo Samuel. They got Brandon Ayuk, George Kittle, superstar Chase Roulier. And how is Brock Purdy, Mr. Irrelevant, a superstar development player? Dude, this team is loaded. They got Fred Warner. They got Nick Bosa. They got Javon Hargrave, James Bradbury, Drake Greenlaw. This actually could be a superstar caliber team. Looks like we spent a little bit of money in free agency too, so this team can only get better from here on out. Let's see what Kyle Shanahan and these 49ers decide to do in this draft class to help Chad Quackenbush improve. Yeah, aside from this defensive tackle here, which will help on the defensive end, I would say that this draft was kind of a bust. Tell you what though, for the first time in this video, I actually feel confident that we may be able to make it to a Super Bowl with this 49ers team. Let's go! 12-5 record, good enough for another playoff appearance as we are going to be taking on the Atlanta Falcons in the wild card round. 12-5 record is good enough for the 2 seed in the NFC. So there you go. Chad, I swear to God, brother, if you have not reached 1,300 rushing yards this season, I might just cut you and quit this video. And oh my God, over 2,000 rushing yards for Chad Quackenbush. So yeah, I would say that definitely marks something off of the challenges. You know, nothing special, just the 3rd all-time leading season in terms of rushing yards behind Adrian Peterson and Eric Dickerson. No big deal. Is that good enough for any MVP votes though? That's the question. You don't really ever see running backs in the MVP, and Patrick Mahomes back on the Chiefs somehow? I thought that he was on the Packers. Yeah, it's typically quarterbacks for the MVP race, so we don't get to see good old Chad in here anywhere. He does get best running back, which is nice, but unfortunately that will not help us complete our challenges for today. He will get one more Pro Bowl though, so that will add another ticker to that total. And so far in this episode, we have made a little bit of progress, nothing too crazy. We've been selected to 3 out of 5 Pro Bowls, and now we also get to scratch off another challenge as Chad did go over 1,300 rushing yards in this season. So we're making some sort of progress. Please, oh please, just don't let me get first rounded by the freaking 8-9 Atlanta Falcons. If we can somehow make it to the Super Bowl and we got first rounded by the freaking 8-9 Atlanta Falcons. I really hate this game right now. What do we got to do to win a freaking playoff game, man? I mean, we have somebody who was literally built in a lab, the greatest athlete to ever walk the face of the earth, and the Kansas City Chiefs are in there, who was the first team that we played as, and apparently they're doing better without Mr. Quackenbush here. And to add a little insult to injury, the Chiefs do win Super Bowl 59 over the Carolina Panthers. Why couldn't you win it when we had Chad? Big question on everyone's mind, though, is what position will Mr. Quackenbush play? Please not corner. Please not corner again. Okay, linebacker. So this will give us a fair shot to go over 120 tackles in this next season. And Chad will be a linebacker in which team, though? That is the question. Looks like he will be the new linebacker of the Chicago Cowboys, the Dallas Cowboys. So gonna play alongside the likes of Micah Parsons. So I like the chances that we could maybe make it to a Super Bowl next season. So this is good. We're going to be playing on defense alongside the likes of Micah Parsons and some auto-generated guy named McLean. And I chose to make Chad a middle linebacker because I am very confident that we can get over 120 tackles with him this season. And honestly, this team is more stacked than the 49ers were. They got superstar X-Factor Dak Prescott, who just won league MVP last year. They got CeeDee Lamb. They have good offensive line. They have good receivers. This could actually be the team to go all the way. Chad is also still very young too, only 4 years in the league now and only 23 years old. So he still has a fair shot to complete these challenges that we need him to today. Gotta make sure we give my man number 99 just for good faith. We didn't really do too much in free agency, so that's kind of unfortunate. Oh, and it looks like our best starting offensive lineman retires and probably our best cornerback retires. So that is just making this thing a lot more difficult for Mr. Quackenbush. Not a lot of good rookies coming to Jerry's world either. And why did you draft 2 middle linebackers? You have Chad Quackenbush, a Madden god. You have the most dominant physical specimen that has ever walked the face of this earth, and you're gonna draft 2 middle linebackers? What a freaking waste. I'm speaking it into existence, ladies and gentlemen. Simming to the midseason mark here, and remember, as a middle linebacker, the goal is to get 120 plus tackles this season, which I think Chad should be able to do easily. We've only been able to scratch off 1 challenge so far, but Chad has made 3 Pro Bowls, so maybe we'll get a little bit closer to that, and maybe we can actually taste and smell the Super Bowl this season. Yeah, 5-2 record is good and all, but the big question is, how is Chad doing in terms of tackling? Is he close to reaching that 120 tackle threshold so we can cross off another challenge? He is about halfway there, close. So as long as he has a pretty good second half of the season, he should be able to get there. Why is Baker Mayfield so good in this alternate universe? Chad's sitting at a solid 6 in the league in total tackles, so I'm liking his chances of hitting that goal. I'm very confident that the Cowboys are going to make the playoffs sitting at a 5-2 record, but will Chad reach that 120 tackle threshold? I feel like it's going to be close, but if anybody can do it, it is the good old Quackenbush. 13-4, actually good enough for a first round bye, which is awesome in its own right. But this is the moment of truth, though. Did Chad reach 120 tackles on the season? And are we going to be able to scratch something else off of this challenge list? That is the question. And he did, by far. Chad Quackenbush finishes the season with 158 tackles, completely shattering the goal that we set for him for 120. And he also had 5 interceptions as a middle linebacker too, so we actually get to scratch off 2 challenges in one season. That, my friends, is huge. He also earned himself another Pro Bowl appearance as well, so we are chugging right along here in year number 4. So far in Chadwick's young career, we have been able to accomplish 3 of our goals and are very close to achieving the 4th goal, as long as he can get 1 more Pro Bowl appearance, we will have that one in the bag. Can we win our first playoff game of the video, though? That is the question. We're taking on our division rival Washington Commanders, who look to be pretty good, but please, if there's a Madden god, please just let us get this, and we do. 42-28, and we are going to be taking on the Green Bay Packers in the divisional. So no MVP for Chadwick, but at least our cohort Dak Prescott does get to take home that honor. So I guess that's at least good to see. And Baker Mayfield still out here doing Baker Mayfield things, I guess. Not too shabby for Chadwick, as he also finishes 3rd in the league in Defensive Player of the Year voting. Not that that'll help us with any challenges, but I mean, it's still good for Chadwick, right? All right, no more messing around here. We are jumping in for this one because we have to get a Super Bowl. We have to get 2 at some point in this episode, and what better time to do it now than we have quite possibly the best team that Chad has ever played for. So we are going to jump into this one here and see if we can possibly knock off these Green Bay Packers. We are at home at AT&T Stadium, so hopefully that helps to have the home crowd behind us, and let's just go ahead and see what we can do here. All right, so we're starting things out here. Cowboys, we strike quickly, very quickly, going up 7-0, now 14-0. Offensive explosion to start this thing out here. Packers still yet to score. We go up 17-0, so I guess we're not even gonna have to jump into this one, hopefully. 20-3, Packers need to figure it out. They need to figure it out now. It's 34-3. We're just pouring on the points here. Packers haven't even found the end zone yet. They've only scored field goals, and the Cowboys not letting their foot off of the gas. As we go up 41, now they finally score their first touchdown, but it's gonna be too little too late. We are gonna win 41-13, and Matt LaFleur can't believe it. I really can't believe it either. And Chad freaking Quackenbush is gonna make his first Super Bowl appearance. What did he do in this game? Did he have an impact, or was it all Dak Prescott? So let's take a look and see the Cowboys defense here. Quackenbush only had 4 tackles, no tackles for loss, and no sacks. So he did virtually nothing. But guess what? It doesn't matter because his team still got the W. Nothing like a little bit of poetic justice as we are taking on the Kansas City Chiefs in the Super Bowl, the team that Chad Quackenbush started his NFL journey on. Still don't know how they got Patrick Mahomes back, but I guess Madden just really wants me to get reamed in this game. Okay, we get the ball first here. Technically the Chiefs got the ball first. I'm sorry. We scored first though, so that's great. Technically we're the away team here. 7-7, it's knotted up here. We take the lead with the touchdown, going up 14-7. Somehow we're holding the Chiefs off the scoreboard, playing good defense. Maybe Chadwick has something to do with that. 14-14 though, so now it's a real barn burner. Chiefs take the lead for the first time in the game, but we tie it up. It's 21-21. Can we score here? We do. We kick a field goal. It's 24-21. Chiefs scored at the last freaking second. Are you serious? Oh my gosh, I should have jumped into that one. Oh, we were this close, and I don't know if we're going to be able to get back there or not. That is how this season is going to end. We were so close, but at least we were able to complete 2 challenges, so I'm not really too upset with that. Okay, what position will Chad be going to now? He's already proven himself as a running back and a defender, and now he is going to be a tight end. And it just so happens we still have our receiving challenge in place to amass 1,200 receiving yards in a season. So this could be the year, but who is going to be the quarterback targeting him? That's the question. So many choices. Just give us a good quarterback. I wouldn't be upset with going back to the Chiefs. And we are going to the Bayou New Orleans Saints. But who is their quarterback, though? That is the question. Well, it's some guy named Larry. And Larry doesn't look to be that good. So not sure if New Orleans is the best place for Mr. Quackenbush. Let's see if head coach Marvin Fowler can lead us to the promised land this time. 5 years in now to Chad's young career, he's already proven himself as a rusher and a defender, and he has made the Pro Bowl in every single season that he has played so far in the NFL career. This might prove to be his toughest year yet, as this offense looks pretty mid, and the defense does not look too much better either. So Chad might have his hands full here in his 5th year in the league. So we're just gonna sim right to the playoffs, man. That Super Bowl loss, I still can't can't get that taste out of my mouth. The only palate cleanser that I can possibly think of is if Chad can get over 1,200 receiving yards this season, and we could scratch something else off of this list. But we're definitely not gonna get a Super Bowl this season. That much is for certain. This team was pretty bad. Worst team we've played for, and it looks like old Larry here didn't really have too bad of a season. Almost 5,000 passing yards, so you can't really be too mad at that. And Aaron Jones went over 1,000 yards. But here is the big question. As I move over to receiving, did Chad Quackenbush get 1,200 receiving yards? He did! Yes, let's go! Nothing like crossing off another challenge here in year number 5. And he also made his 5th Pro Bowl in 5 years as well. So that's another challenge that we get to cross off the list. So 5 years into Chad's career, we have now officially crossed off 5 challenges. We are halfway there, still yet to win any Super Bowls or MVPs, but we have the receiving goal completed, the rushing goal completed, the tackle goal completed, and the interception goal completed. So we are on pace, hopefully, to complete this challenge. Why is Baker Mayfield still so good? Nothing like seeing our division rivals 16-1 Panthers take home the Lombardi Trophy. That is depressing. Now, I gotta be honest, fellas, I think the only shot of us getting any MVP voting is to be a quarterback, which we are not gonna be able to be a quarterback. We're gonna be a wide receiver, so we've already completed the receiving goal, so that's really not too helpful, as we really need to get the stat goal, and we need to get the passing goal, and we need MVPs in Super Bowl. Who's gonna be slinging the ball to Chad this season? Let's see what the magical wheel of fate has to say, and it is going to be the Falcons. I mean, in all fairness, this team doesn't actually look too bad. Desmond Ridder is a superstar development player now. They still got Kyle Pitts. They got good receivers, especially now that they got Chad. We also got somebody from Ohio State named Ashley playing at defensive tackle, so hopefully that helps our chances. Yo, I'll take 12-5 in the NFC South. Good enough for a first-round bye. Did not expect that at all. Dude, Desmond Ridder led the league in passing yards at 5,539. We need to become a quarterback. We have to become a quarterback. But the big question is, how did Chad do in receiving? I mean, not going to set any single season records, but still a very solid season. Well, we didn't win MVP, but at least one of our cohorts did again. All right, just going to sim to the Super Bowl here, hoping that the Atlanta Falcons can be a part of it, because that's the only way that we're going to be able to scratch off another challenge on this list. Is there a Madden God? Is there a Madden God? Is there a Madden God? There's not a Madden God, at least not one here smiling upon me now. We did beat the Giants in the divisional, but then the Commanders ousted us by a touchdown in the NFC Championship. Entering year number 7 here, we really need quarterback or defensive end. Quarterback or defensive end. Another wide receiver? Oh my God, are you kidding me? Well, I guess there's still a chance we could break a single season record for receiving, but only if we're gonna have a great quarterback throwing the ball to us, and if Baker Mayfield is still on the Buccaneers, but it doesn't matter because we are going to the Arizona Cardinals. I mean, I guess they still got Kyler Murray, so not the worst possible option of quarterbacks to be targeting Chad Quackenbush. Well, no playoffs for us here in 2028. Also, no shot at setting a single season record, as Chad barely scraped by the 1,000 yard mark and didn't even have 10 touchdowns. Nice to see Baker Mayfield, though, finally not in the MVP running. Chadwick is heading into his 8th season in the NFL, and we can't keep wasting this man's career by not getting any Super Bowls and not getting any MVPs. He needs to become a quarterback or a defensive end so we can scratch off some more of these challenges. Come on, QB or defensive end? QB or defensive end? We cannot keep wasting this man's career, and there it is. Quarterback, baby, finally. Have not been a quarterback since the first season, and now we have a chance to make some waves in this video. But where's he gonna be going, though? That's the question. Please go to a team with some weapons. The Chiefs? The Chiefs? How about that? How ironic. This man started his career as a Chief, and now he is going back to the Chiefs. with a chance to hopefully make the playoffs, an MVP, or throw for over 5,000 passing yards. Goodbye, Patrick. Time to let somebody else shine in Kansas City for a change. Chadwick looking mighty crispy back in that Kansas City red and yellow as he enters his 8th year in the league, now back at quarterback. And the Chiefs have Justin Jefferson, really, plus a very solid offensive line. And Joe Mixon, who's randomly playing fullback. No wonder the Chiefs have been so good. Defensively, they're okay, but this offense, man, especially with the addition of Quackenbush, dare I say, this may be the team that can go all the way. Yeah, I would say the Chiefs definitely spent some money in free agency. This is how they got Justin Jefferson and Joe Mixon. They also got Courtland Sutton too, so man, I'm glad to be back in Kansas City, I gotta say. Doesn't look like this Kansas City front office knows how to draft any better than the other ones, though. We still have yet to win a Super Bowl. We still have yet to win a league MVP. We still have to throw for over 5,000 yards passing in a season. We still have to get 20+ sacks in a season, and we still have to set at least one single season record. So a lot of work to still be done, but being in Kansas City is probably the place to do it. Feeling good, feeling confident now that we're back at KC. Let's just sim to the midseason, get a feel for how Chad's season is going, see if he's going to be on par to hit any goals, see if we're going to be able to complete any challenges, and most importantly, see if this is a potential Super Bowl appearance, Super Bowl winning team. Ah, yes, the fruits of playing in the Kansas City Chiefs playbook. Okay, that is more like it. 5-1. So let's take a look and see how Chad and the rest of this team is doing. Chad is only 13th in the league in passing, I see, so not really on pace to hit 5,000. He's going to need a much better, much more productive second half of the season, although his team is playing well. And I swear, dude, if we do not complete a challenge in this season, I will probably lose all hope. We're a quarterback. We're in the Kansas City Chiefs playbook. The Kansas City Chiefs are a cheat code in this game. There is no better chance to scratch off some challenges than right freaking now. Well, it looks like at least Chadwick will be going to the playoffs as the #1 seed in the AFC, so that's a plus. And look at that. Chad Quackenbush, this specimen of a human being, does throw for over 5,000 passing yards, 5,460, and also 53 touchdowns. Dare I say, this may be good enough for an MVP caliber season, and possibly, I don't know about that 53, but that might be an NFL record. We'll have to check that. Justin Jefferson also going over 2,000 yards receiving, so the combination of Quackenbush and Jefferson proved to be very, very deadly. We had the first ranked offense in the league, so that is great to see. Defense, we were kind of middle of the pack, but here's the moment of truth. Was Chad Quackenbush's season good enough for an MVP? And it was! Yes, thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. So not only are we going to get over 5,000 passing yards and complete another challenge, we now get our very first MVP of the video. Hey, also our cohort Justin Jefferson wins Offensive Player of the Year, so what a deadly combination. Is 53 touchdowns an NFL record? If this is an NFL record, I swear this is going to be our best season ever. Now, he did not complete the passing record. That actually goes to Desmond Ridder, who was our teammate a few seasons ago. But passing touchdowns, Peyton Manning had 55, and Desmond Ridder, who we just played with, maybe we should go to the Falcons playbook, but Chad Quackenbush did get very close at 53. And Chad Quackenbush is back in the Super Bowl for the second time in his career, this time with the Kansas City Chiefs. All right, guys, I am not messing around here. We have a chance to scratch off multiple challenges, so I am jumping in for this one. Just in case it's on the edge, I may have to jump in and try to help our team win because we got our first MVP, finally. We got over 5,000 passing yards, finally. And now we have a chance to win the Super Bowl, potentially. And if we can do that, man, oh man, that's going to make the rest of this video so much easier. So let's go ahead and dive in here to the game. We're taking on the Philadelphia Eagles in San Francisco. We score first, quick strike. Eagles respond with a field goal. They get the ball back, and now they're going to go up with a touchdown 10-7. They got the ball back again, now 13-7. Chiefs need to respond here with a touchdown. They do. We take the lead, 14-13. Now 17-13, 24-13. Offensive explosion. Eagles respond. We got a good one here, 24-21. Getting very close to the fourth quarter. We got the ball. We go up by 10, 31-21. Eagles respond, 31-28. They got the ball. We got the ball. We're going to go up 38-28. And I think that we just won. I think we won. We did. We got our first Super Bowl in a thriller. 38-35. Chad Quackenbush. Cannot believe it. We just scratched off multiple challenges in this one season. That was clutch, and that is gonna take some pressure off for the rest of this video. Actually, both quarterbacks played amazing. Jalen Hurts and Chad Quackenbush both had 4 touchdowns. Jalen actually outpassed us, but we played just well enough, and we were able to get the victory right before the final whistle blew. And let me just take a moment to bask in the glory that was this season, because man, oh man, did we need it. What a fine specimen of a human being right there. Look at Chadwick. So taking a look at our challenges so far, we did win our first Super Bowl, so we're halfway there in that challenge. We did win our first league MVP, so we're halfway there in that challenge. We've been good with the Pro Bowls. We did go over 5,000 passing yards, so that one's done. We did already go over 1,200 receiving yards, so that's done. 1,300 plus rushing yards is done. 120 plus tackles is done. Still got to get 20 plus sacks, so we really need to become a defensive end. 5 interceptions is done, and we're still looking to set that single season record. So we're on pace, hopefully, to complete this challenge. Question is, though, how do you follow up a season like that? We really need to become a defensive end, and we're going to become a linebacker, which if we put Chad on the edge as an edge rusher, maybe we actually could get 20 plus sacks. Let's see where Chad will end up, though, as an outside linebacker this time. Hopefully it's a team that already has a pretty good defense, and it's going to be the Broncos, who I don't know who they have these days, but I know that we have seen them in the playoffs a couple times, so at least that's a plus. We go ahead and slide Chad Quackenbush in as a right linebacker, playing in this 3-4 scheme that Denver runs. Hopefully, he may be able to surmount 20 sacks. They also got Patrick Surtain now, so 2 X factors on the defense. And offensively, they have a superstar quarterback, so I mean, I guess that's good. And an X-Factor tight end, as well as Jerry Jeudy and Javonte Williams still here. So team kind of mid, but kind of okay. But right now, we're just looking to break 20 plus sacks. And I mean, I would take a back-to-back Super Bowl appearance, not gonna lie. You miss 100% of the shots that you don't take, right? Chad Quackenbush's now 9th year in the NFL, and we've actually accomplished a lot. Praying now that since he's an edge rusher, that we can get 20 plus sacks, maybe sneak into the playoffs. But if we can just get 20 plus sacks and knock that off of the challenge board, I will be a happy boy. Well, no more back-to-back Super Bowls, as we finish 8-9 and do not even make it to the playoffs. Playoffs aside, the big question is, did Chad get 20 plus sacks? And Timmy, wow, Timmy, you did not play good.
Bruh.
We had the 30th ranked offense in the NFL, but the 7th ranked defense, so that sounds good to me. Let's check the stats and see if we did get 20 plus sacks and if we're able to scratch off a challenge. And we got 20 on the nose. Yes, okay, Chad. Even though this team was terrible, he got exactly what he needed with 20 sacks. And you know what, ladies and gentlemen? I will take that as a W as we scratch off another challenge from the challenge sheet. Not that it matters for any challenges, but might I add that Chad has been to the Pro Bowl now 7 times. I guess we'll never see the day that Madden considers a defensive player in the running for the MVP, however. Hey, I'll take 2nd place in the AFC for Defensive Player of the Year honors, though. Not too shabby if I do say so myself. And most importantly, we complete another challenge. So the only thing left to do now is we must win 1 more Super Bowl. We must win 1 more league MVP. So we're probably going to have to be a quarterback to do that. And we still have to set a single season record. So 3 more things to do. 9 years into Chad's career. It's going to be tough, but I think we actually got a fighting chance. Entering his second decade in the NFL, where will Chad go? He will be a receiver again, and he will play receiver for the Carolina Panthers. Okay, so who is their quarterback these days? I don't know, but maybe a chance for Chad to break a single season record in receiving yards. Well, apparently the Panthers still have Matt Rule as their coach in this game, so that probably doesn't bode well for our success. You know, on second thought, this Panthers team doesn't look half bad. They got Bryce Young, who is a 96 overall superstar, an auto-generated left guard who's a superstar, Ikemi Kwanu who's a superstar. They got Chad now, of course. They got Brandon Ayuk. So their offense is looking pretty good, and Brian Burns still in town. So defense okay as well. But hey, maybe I shouldn't badmouth Matt Rule too much, because he did lead us into the playoffs as a wild card team with a 10-7 record. The question is, how did old Chad do though? We see Bryce Young played very well, almost 5,000 passing yards, 42 touchdowns, and only 10 interceptions. And Chad's season was less than amazing, 1,300 yards, very formidable number, but only 11 touchdowns. So definitely not going to be breaking any single season records here. Frickin' Patrick Mahomes just wins league MVP wherever he goes. I guess it doesn't matter, now winning it with the Arizona Cardinals. But none of that will matter if we can make it back to the Super Bowl again and hoist our second Lombardi trophy, because that is still something that we have to check off of the checklist for these challenges. And if we can win a Super Bowl now, every subsequent Super Bowl that we win will count as an extra challenge. So let's see if Matt Rule can lead us there. And he does! Wow! Okay, so sorry, Matt. I apologize. We sneak into the Super Bowl to take on the Buffalo Bills. Couple of 10-7 teams going at it here. So we squeak by the Packers 42-35 in the wild card game. In the divisional, we edge Patrick Mahomes and the Cardinals by 4 points, so just barely made it. And then we ousted the Lions, put up a pretty dominant performance, 34-17. So we carved our path to the playoffs. Regardless of what happened in the regular season, we have a chance to scratch something off of the challenge list here, which is just amazing. We are taking on Josh Allen and the Buffalo Bills, and this would be enormous if we can somehow beat them. This is now Chad's third Super Bowl appearance, 1-1 so far, so looking to go over 500 in his Super Bowl record. Let's see if he can do it. We're taking on a good opponent here, so I feel like it's going to be a pretty tough game. Buffalo gets the ball first, and they score right away. We do not score, but we get the ball back, do not score again, and now Buffalo up 2 scores on us. So where is this offense? Now 17-0. Am I going to have to dive in already? This one looks like it is going to be a blowout, ladies and gentlemen. We're down by 24, yet to score a freaking point. Now we finally do, but missed the 2-point conversion, and Buffalo scores again. Yeah, this one is going to be over. No sense in probably even jumping in unless we do something crazy here, which we won't. So that was anticlimactic, and now Chad is 1-2 in his Super Bowl appearances. My man only had 2 receptions for 22 yards. What were you doing out there? Chad not getting any younger here, heading into his 11th season, so we need to start making some traction. And we're going to be linebackers, so not really too exciting, but maybe he can break the single season sack record. And we'll see what team that he will be playing on, as probably an edge rusher, I would imagine. And tell me he doesn't go to the Bills. I was about to say the team that just beat us, but no, he is going to the Buccaneers. At least there don't seem to be any other good edge rushers here in Tampa Bay, so maybe that means all the sacks can go to old Chatty boy here. Tell you what, Chad is no spring chicken anymore, now 30 years old, entering his 11th season into the league, so we got to try to get back to the Super Bowl, break a single season record, and win league MVP. And we know he's not going to win a league MVP playing as a defensive player, because Madden says no to that. And look at all these big name players who are dominant in today's NFL calling it quits. That's how you know we are deep into this video here when we see players like this that we all know and love hanging up the cleats. Okay, we are officially 5-1 at the midseason mark. We have a top 5 defense in the league, and Chad literally has 14 sacks already at the midpoint mark of the season. Single season sack leader is 31 by Von Miller of the Bills in 2024, so it's gonna be a long hill to climb, but we at least have somewhat of a chance. We're simming to the playoffs here, and I really hope we can complete a challenge because I really want to name one of my players on my Cupcake Relocation franchise after one of you all. If you guys haven't watched the Cupcake Relocation franchise yet, we are now over 40 episodes deep as I record this, and it is very fun. I will put a card at the top of the screen after this video. You should go check out the playlist for the Cupcake Relocation franchise. 11-6, good enough for a wild card spot. So after only having lost one game at the midseason mark, a little lackluster, but that is okay. I'm not too mad at that. Looks like we still have a top 5 defense, as well as our total defensive rank is number 4 and our total sack rank is number 1. But the real question is, how many of those are contributed by good old Chad Quackenbush? Well, at least our quarterback Marco looks like he had a pretty good season, but none of that matters. The only thing that matters is defense, and it looks like Chad has 32.5 sacks, which, if my math is correct, that will be a new NFL record, and that means that we will be setting a single season goal and crossing something else off of the challenge sheet. Yes, just take a moment to bask in the glory that is the Quackenbush sitting at the top of the sack leaderboard. So 11 years into Chad's illustrious career, and we have literally completed every single challenge but 2. All we have to do now, my friends, is win one more Super Bowl and win one more league MVP. I guess I'll take Defensive Player of the Year as a consolation prize. With the click of a button here, we are gonna sim to the Super Bowl, and if we could somehow make it, this will be Chad's now 4th appearance in a Super Bowl, and if we could somehow win it, that would mean we would only have one more challenge to complete, which is getting Chad another league MVP. And no, it is literally a repeat of the last Super Bowl, the Panthers and the Bills. We did make it all the way to the conference championship, but the Panthers did end up knocking us out. So maybe wish I would have just stayed on the Panthers, as they end up going back to back. Why does Madden hate me so much? Father Time is not on our side here, as Chad Q is about to enter his 13th year in the NFL. So we need to become a quarterback again, hopefully, so we can get an MVP. All right, let's see what we got. Let's see what we got. Need that QB. Need that QB. Can we possibly get it? Yes, we can. I swear you can't make this stuff up. Now we just need a good team with a good playbook. Hey, how about the Bills? They're back-to-back Super Bowls. No, are we really about to go to the Lions? Really? Oh my gosh. I mean, I guess the Lions squad isn't too bad. Their offensive line is pretty good, and they do have a superstar development wide receiver for old Chad to toss the ball to, so I guess that's not too bad. Defense, though, aside from Aiden Hutchinson, looks to be lacking, to say the least. Maybe this front office can help to improve the team a little bit through free agency and the draft. Well, we signed no players in free agency, but apparently Kyler Murray had made his way to the team, and now he calls it quits. Hopefully this Lions organization is not where quarterbacks come to die, because I know that Chad has to have some more good years left in the tank. Hey, what do you know? Finally a front office that knows how to draft players. They are very wise, if I do say so myself.
I'm out, man.
Although if last season is any indication on how this season's gonna go, I do not feel very confident. Again, just gotta speak it into freaking existence. I mean, okay, I'll take 10-7 record to put us at the top of the NFC North, but we have to play the Carolina Panthers, who just came off of back-to-back Super Bowl appearances, and they just won the last one. And the big question is, how did Chad finish? Did Chad have an MVP caliber season? I mean, he's over 5,000 passing yards, but that only puts him at 3rd place in the league for passing. Did have 40 touchdowns, so it's gonna be close. Receiving, well, good thing we had Kenny and Roman and Matt, so we had 3 receivers that were over 1,000 yards. So at least Chad Q had a good season, but the question is, was it good enough for his second needed MVP. Really? We weren't even top 10 even though we threw over 5,000 passing yards? Are you serious? Well, MVP off the table, so that means our only chance at completing another one of these challenges is to potentially, hopefully, make the Super Bowl. But to do that, first we have to get past the Carolina Panthers, and we do. 39-31. Okay, so was not expecting that, but there you go. Yeah, I'll go ahead and take all the upgrades I can get just because we are going to need it as we take on the Los Angeles Rams in the divisional. If we can somehow win this one, I will probably jump into the next one and see what happens. But let's see if we can get past the Rams first. Cinderella story. We do. 44-20. Wow, this Lions team coming out of nowhere. So let's see what happens here. We get the ball first, instantly give it back to Dallas. Dallas scores a field goal to go up 3-0. We match them with our own field goal. Now we get the ball back, chance to go up even more. We don't punch it into the end zone, but we get 3. Dallas kicks it back to us. They do find the end zone, so do we. Now it's 13-10, so a good back and forth contest here. Dallas scores back-to-back quickly. They're now up 27-13. We got a score. We didn't. We punted it away. We punted it back to Dallas. Dallas gonna probably go up again. They do, and it looks like Dallas is going to take this thing. Not even any point in jumping into this one. Dallas just turned the Jets on in the second half, and they are gonna come out of this thing with the W. 44-20, and that will put a stop to our Cinderella season. Well, I guess the Cowboys got Justin Herbert now, so that explains a lot. And Chad threw 3 interceptions, so he was clean the first 2 games of the playoffs and completely tarnished that record by throwing 3 today. I mean, I guess one silver lining is this guy has made 8 Pro Bowl appearances. I wish extra Pro Bowls would have counted as a challenge completed, but I decided to make these dumb rules, so that's not gonna happen. Chad entering his 13th NFL season. Now that felt like the one right there, seeing as how we were quarterback, and now we're gonna go back to cornerback, so definitely no MVP in sight. At least let us go to a good team that's a Super Bowl contender. That would be nice. The Ravens, okay, not sure if they still got Lamar Jackson. If they do, that's a really good move. If they don't, then I don't really know. And it looks like the 63-year-old Lamar Jackson is still here in Baltimore, so I guess this isn't a bad destination for us. All right, we're simming straight to the Super Bowl. If this team cannot get there, I don't know what other team will, and we do not, as it's going to be the Colts and the Cardinals. We lost to our division rival Bengals, who went on to lose to the Colts. We might as well have beat them, because I feel like we definitely could have beat the Colts. Nothing to see here, just Josh Allen winning his 15th straight MVP in the league. Just give me quarterback, please, man. We still have the 2 hardest challenges to go, and I don't know how many years Chad has, but yes, thank you, Madden gods. We will get to become a quarterback again. Now time to give Chad some weapons so we can maybe get our second MVP. Going to the Colts, who were just in the Super Bowl, so I gotta figure they probably got a good team. I can tell you that Timothy here certainly looks like he is ready to take care of some business. You know you're deep into a franchise when you start seeing auto-generated players retire. Chad so badly wants me to name one of my players after one of my subscribers, don't you, Chad? All we can do, fellas, is sim to the Super Bowl. We have come so far. We have defied all the odds. Chad Quackenbush has had quite the career with many accolades, but there are still 2 more things we need to accomplish. Could potentially accomplish them both this season. Dude, we were the 2 seed and got eliminated by the Houston Texans. I don't even know what my life is about right now. I'm questioning everything, and I really just want to go into a corner and cry. But I'll tell you what, it'll make it all worthwhile if Chad Quackenbush can win an MVP, and it looks like he did have an astounding season. I see there that he was first in the NFL in passing touchdowns at 51, only threw 9 picks, had almost 5,400 yards. Guys, this could be MVP caliber type season. Oh man, it all comes down to this. If I click this yearly awards button and I do not see Chad there at the top, I am just going to be a sad boy, indeed, and I don't have to be sad today. Yay for positivity. So even though we did not make the Super Bowl, we still do get to check one more challenge off of the list. Chad has won his second MVP, and now we only have to win one Super Bowl, and we will complete this challenge today. Well, it looks like we're going back to the defensive side of the ball here, and we are going to the Buccaneers, who typically do pretty good in simulation, so maybe that will help us. We are changing Chad's number to number 1 because we only have one more challenge left to accomplish, so maybe, just maybe, that can bring us some good luck. The year is 2036. It is now our 15th season in the league, and I am praying to the Madden gods, please just let us make a Super Bowl. Please, I've been good today. I'll be good tomorrow. I'll be good all week. I'll help an old lady cross the street. I don't care. Just let me make it to the Super Bowl and I will do anything. Victory! So we edge out the Lions in a close one in the wild card. In the divisional, we edge out another pretty close one against the Eagles. And then in the conference championship, we won a fairly decisive one against the Green Bay Packers. We made it all the way as the 4th seed in the NFC. We had the 4th ranked offense at the league, double 6'9", gotta love that. And we had the 14th ranked defense in the league. We have a quarterback who can sling the ball, apparently. We have a couple 1,000-yard receivers. And of course, we have Chad with 3 interceptions, a half a sack, and 7 tackles for loss. All right, this is it, ladies and gentlemen. If we can somehow win this game, we will complete today's challenge, and I will be able to name one of my players on my Cupcake Relocation franchise after one of you all. Make sure to leave a comment, because if we pass this challenge, I can't pick you if you didn't comment. But first, let's take care of business. We are playing on our favorite team, the Buffalo Bills. How sweet it would be to get some redemption against them. And you know, we are gonna jump into the fast sim here, and just please, Madden gods, I told you I would be good today. I told you I would be good tomorrow. I will be extremely good if you can let us win this game. So Bills gonna strike first with the field goal. We do not respond. So now Bills go up 10-0 after scoring a touchdown. We finally score one, now 10-7. Can we jump in front? We do. 14-10. Bills punt the ball back to us. Can we score again? We do. 21-10. Things are looking pretty good for these Bucks here. If we score again, this thing could be over. Please score again, Bucks. We do score again. 28-10. 35-10. Keep pouring it on. Keep pouring it on. Victory is here for Chad. 42 points to 10. We are going to host the Lombardi Trophy, and man, oh man, does it feel sweet. Chad gets his second Super Bowl as a cornerback, but you know what? It doesn't matter, because he has now had a stellar career playing basically every single core position in the NFL. And our quarterback absolutely balled out with 5 touchdowns and 0 interceptions. But did Chad do anything on the defensive side of the ball? Doesn't really matter now, but I am very curious. No, we had a guy with the last name of Cheeks who got an interception, and no sacks for Chad, no tackles for loss. But you know what? I don't even care what Chad did in this game, because the most important thing is we pulled out the Super Bowl victory. So in Mr. Quackenbush's illustrious career, he has won 2 Super Bowls. He was the league MVP 2 times. He was selected to multiple Pro Bowls. He had over 5,000 passing yards as a quarterback. He had over 1,200 yards as a wide receiver and or tight end. He had over 1,300 rushing yards as a running back. He had over 120 tackles. He set the single season record for sacks. He had 5+ interceptions as a season, and he has dominated every single major position in the NFL. Only thing left to do now is to simulate and see how many years Chad actually plays and how old he is before he retires from the league. So after 16 illustrious seasons in the NFL, Chad Quackenbush decides to call it quits after 16 seasons, 17 really, if they're counting his rookie season. But he played every single position, and he played them all at a high level. Well, that was a wild ride, ladies and gentlemen. If you guys enjoyed that video, please like it. Please subscribe to the channel with Madden 24 right around the corner. you can expect a lot of content to be dropped by me. And if you enjoyed this video, click here to watch me do a Los Angeles Rams rebuild. But every time I win, I get to steal a player. So that's going to do it for me tonight, guys. As always, I appreciate you stopping by. I will catch you on the next one. Until then, peace.